Good morning, everyone. Can you please do a show virtual thumbs up if you can hear me? Thank you. Thank you so much. So I didn't miss the link today and I came on time. Thank you to the first person that joined after me. How's the week been? Would anyone like to unmute and just tell us how the week was? Or how's the week has been going? While we wait for others to join, we're going to start in the next 2 to 3 minutes. Is anyone willing, or are you still on bed? All right.
Good morning.
Morning, Chukwemeka. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, for me,
Okay.
my week went
Good
well.
morning.
I was able
Excellent.
to achieve a lot of my objectives and beyond my expectation. So that's it. And there was a lot of learning this week. I stay in the north. So this week, no hits. So it's like I'm in UK in Nigeria.
Fantastic. That's great. So I didn't see the hashtag. Last week we had talked about hashtag my passion, my career, hashtag textilers. How many of you um did the assignments that I gave? Nobody. Ayodeji, did you?
Yeah, no, actually,
Morning.
hello, can you hear me?
I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah, actually, this is my first time of joining this class. I've not been able to make it through to this level in the past.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you're pardoned. Um, any other person? I gave a tax last week. Nobody. So you guys didn't even look at my the session we had last week. That's heartbreaking. I hope that you guys will look at it. Yeah, go on. Someone is going to talk. Yeah, Christiana. Go ahead, Christiana.
I was thinking about it, but I couldn't think of anything, any skill sets that can turn into money or into a business. So I was really thinking hard. I couldn't figure out anything. So that's why.
Okay, thank you for being faithful. Remember I said something last week that money should not be the main goal, right? So it
Okay.
doesn't have to be a skill set or a passion that will turn into money. You can just, start building. I encouraged everyone last week to just start building. Once you start building, and you share in the community, you share with friends, you share on your social media. Um, Before you know it, the money would come. It will definitely come. Next week, you're going to talk about starting, startup journey. So you'll know that the money would definitely come. And you know what they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. All right. So anyone else? I'm just waiting for the next 1 minute, then we'll take it up. Anyone else tried any passion? Or did you even think about your passion at all? Or was it like you just covered your books and just said, oh, soft skill is over, we'll talk about it next week? Anybody thought of passion last week?
Yeah, for me. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, for me, it's not last week. I kind of say my passion has been in on a slow and steady because I have some engagement I do every year. And last 2 weeks, just before your session, I did my outreach in Port Harcourt. But it has been on a low kind of passion with my team. We are 8 members across Africa, but we are on a low because we are all working and the work is demanding. and there's a plan like in so year, when we have enough cash, then we can withdraw from work and then pay full attention to the passion. But it has been on a low. We got outreach, we post on our page, and then we keep record of our impact in the society. So that's all from my end. It's not like I have not been thinking of that.
Excellent.
Just to admit, this week I even have planned to teach digital skills to Holy Child Association in my church. So basically, for me, I've been impacting in my passion, but my work is demanding that for now I don't have what it takes to leave my work to move fully for my passion. Maybe on the
All
long
right.
run, okay, I will move to that.
All right. Thank you so much, Chukwemeka, for sharing that with us. Remember again, like I said last week, passion is what keeps you awake, right? Your career is there, but the passion is what really keeps you awake. So, as much as, yes, the work is there right now, eventually you're going to retire into your passion. So you need to start creating time, no matter how little it is, even if it's like 5-10 minutes a day. Start creating time for your passion. Please, can you guys confirm if you can see my screen so that we can start right away?
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Thank you. All right, so today we'll be looking at AI as my business partner. I don't know if someone else, Joanne, can you admit people so that I can just move on and it doesn't distract me? Can someone help me? All right, I think someone has been able to do that.
Yes,
right?
I'm doing that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Love you, sis. All right. So today we're going to be looking at AI as my business partner, right? We'll look at how to collaborate with AI and not just, use it as a quick fix for our businesses. So this is the content we'll be looking at. We're going to be looking at the partnership mindset. AI as my business partner, meaning AI is my co-founder, AI is my go-to person, right? Treating AI like a person. We're going to be looking at know your AI partner. Don't just pick any partner. Know the partner that suits your kind of business. And that was why last week we started with my passion, my career, right? Then we'll look at AI across your business, and we look at demos. We'll try and see what we can do, with a bit of demos and workflows. Then we look at risk and guide rails, and finally we'll look at a 7-day action plan. And I'm hoping that by next week, before we get into my startup journey, we will a lot of people will have something to say about this action plan that we'll be talking about later today. Now, the partnership mindset, I'm sure a lot of us have, one way or the other, look at AI that, we probably say it, oh, AI is my partner, I do everything with AI has always been there and all of that. But then again, how are you using AI? Are you using AI to work for you or to work with you, right? When AI first came out, a lot of people are like, oh, AI is a tool that you just pick up, and just use randomly. It's not something that, you build as you build your career or you build your passion, right? And once in a while, because change is change can be very difficult. So once in a while we just say, you know what, let me use my brain. I mean, I'm speaking from experience. When the AI craze just came out, and everybody's like, oh, ChatGPT and everything. I'm like, no, I still want to use my brain. I still want to think. I don't want any AI to think for me, But once in a while, I'll just go there and just prompt something and like, okay, let me just see, and all of that. Is that how you use AI? Or is it like a shortcut for you that, you don't even want to think about anything? You just want to AI has to do this for me, right? But right now, what we're saying is we should look at AI as a partner that you brief and collaborate with. And what do I mean? You have to build AI as like someone you talk to, like your bestie that knows everything about you. So when you need to make a research, do a research, or um ask for something, AI already knows. Once you put in your prompt, AI knows, oh, this is Ellie. Yes, I know a lot of things about Ellie. I know her business. I know what she's doing. I know her customers for the next 1 year or 6 months. I know, so there's that collaboration between you and your AI that you're using, right? And of course, you have to use it as something that you iterate with. It's not like you put all your information or all your tax or whatever and just go to sleep. When there's something new, when you maybe as a business person, there's a new customer or there's a new idea you have and all of that, you have to keep going back. And iteration is like a loop. You have to keep going back to work on that tool to help you build a better platform that you can always use, and like your go-to person. It's just like when you're starting a friendship with someone, right? That first date, you just want to talk about everything, right? But that's why it's always encouraging to always go for subsequent dates, because you're getting to know each other better and you become best friends, right? That's why you say, oh, that person is my bestie, because over time you've been able to share things, share ideas, right? And AI should be a force multiplier. What do I mean? Like, by the time you start putting in so much into it as your partner, you realize that you are able to AI is able to bring out things for you that you can't even, on a good day, you might not even be able to think about it immediately. Again, I'm going to relate that to a friendship. You have a friend, and every time we go on a date, we go to watch movies and all of that, and over time, when assuming that friend, we have a conversation and I don't sound too good on the phone or maybe physically, the friend will be able to detect and know that, oh no, this LA is not looking good today, or there's something wrong with LA today. What can I do? You understand? Oh, LA loves flowers. I'm going to send flowers. More like trying to go a step ahead of you, basically. So that's it. Now we're going to now look at a business case that is already written. So there's research has, a lot of companies have done research, like McKinsey, PwC, WEF. They've done research around, AI as your partner when it comes to. There's a business case around it, AI as your partner, right? And the research is that 40% productivity lifts for AI first team. Now, what does that mean for people that are like AI oriented, AI focused, AI the organization is AI what's the word now? That they're like, it has to be AI. You guys have to start learning to use AI. You guys have to use AI. You guys, in whatever you're doing, these three organizations came up with research that the productivity of such company has grown by 40%, right? Unlike those that are not yet using AI as a first as a first team, as part of the team, as part of the company. You remember, like I said earlier, AI is like your business partner. So for your partner, and if you use your partner very well, if your partner is working with you effectively, there will always be you'd always see the productivity. Okay, so for instance, let's say you sell things online, maybe like clothing and all of that, and you're doing it all by yourself, and you decide to say, you know what, I think I want to expand my business. Let me just invite a friend of mine to partner with me, maybe with either resources or intellectual partnership and all of that, you find out that that business will grow. Like they always say, a tree cannot make a forest, right? So that's exactly what this research has been able to identify, that 40% productivity lift has happened with companies that are like AI first, and that there's been 3 times faster decision making, especially with AI analysis. You have a lot of data, in those days before the craze of AI. Can you please mute? Thank you. Before the craze of AI, right? A lot of people would, when they say, especially for database administrators, when they say, oh, generate a report, let's do analysis. Even before BI came up, business and business intelligence, you have to look through the data, right? And you have to sift the data. You have to know, for instance, now maybe you work in a bank or an insurance company, and they say we want to know the number of people that have paid their premium in the last 6 months. In those days, you have to write a select system to pull out the information. Then you now start looking at it. It will take a long time, but now with AI analysis, you can do that 3 times faster than it used to be. And again, this research has also said that there's $4.4 trillion per annum to grab. So why won't you want to be part of the people that would use AI, so that you have, even if it's 0.001% of that amount that you have as your return on investment for your business, that would go a long way, right? So finally, it's been also discovered that executives are even more prone to using AI, and we've had like 76% of executives saying, look, AI is it for them and is top priority for their organizations. So you have to be part of that number. You can't afford to say, you know what, I'm not going to use AI as a partner. And that's why this year, this cohort, you notice that most of the classes we have is AI focus. And because we know the relevance of, having AI as your partner in your business. Now, how do you know your partner? You can't just have a partner and say, or how do you even pick your partner? You can't just have a partner and say, you know what, LA said I should have a business partner, an AI business partner. How do I know this partner? Can this partner work for me? Is this partner going to be relevant to my business? What is this partner bringing to my business? Because at times when you have partners and the partners are just not productive, they are more like, let me use the word, nuisance to your business than being productive to your business. So you need to learn and know the partner to pick, right? So understanding what AI brings to your table. AI would help you to process vast amount of data instantly. I talked about that, data analysis. You can run a lot of analysis for you so that you can make informed decision. You have AI agentic that does anonymous tasks for you, and AI can draft, summarize and rewrite content for you. So these days you don't have to start thinking, spending a whole day thinking of what content to bring out for what particular audience. AI as your partner can do that if you write the correct prompts. I know last year we talked about, there was a particular course that had to do with prompt engineering, and I know I attended a couple of it, textile as the cohort 6, and so I'm sure some of you that were there last year will be great prompt engineers by now. So AI would help you with those mundane things so that you can focus on looking for new customers, new businesses and all of that. And AI would also spot patterns for you. No matter how smart, clever, eyes for details that you are, there are some patterns that you might not see. I'm sure sometimes you guys must have noticed that you write something and you read it over and over again, and you feel, okay, yes, this post is okay, I can send it. But wait until you put it on a tool, on an AI tool, and you tell it to rewrite for you, and just it pops out the mistake or the error or something, and you'll be like, oh my god. So that's it. So again, with patterns, especially those in cybersecurity, he sees a pattern and he knows, there's a threat here. Oh, there's a vulnerability here. So that's exactly what this is talking about. And it generates options and brainstorming at scale. It gives you options, rather than you using AI as a partner and focusing on a particular thing. AI, you say, you know what? When you tell AI to write maybe a write up for you, or give you topics or something, it can always give you options, and you look at it and pick out of the options. Unlike if you have to do that yourself, you waste a longer time trying to figure that out. And it also runs repetitive tasks for you. There's some tasks that you don't even need to start doing at this time and age. Tasks like maybe you are into maybe you want to organize a session, like a webinar or whatever, and you need to do an email, like a default email to all your everyone that has registered. You at this time and age, you shouldn't be found writing that email one after the other. Dear Christiana, dear Linda, dear this, dear Ellie, dear Bumi. AI should be able to do that for you, and that's why you can't afford not to have AI as your partner. So, however, in all of this, remember, you can't just have a partner and ignore what that partner is doing, no matter how excellent that partner is, right? The judgment call is yours, because if anything happens to your business, it's you. It comes back to you. It's not going to go back to the AI. Nobody knows who your partner is. You're the face of the company. Is your brand, right? Your relationship with your clients. AI is not going to go and look for your clients for you. It would not help you attend those meetings that your clients will say, come and meet me physically, come and do a demo for me, come and do this and all of that. That relationship that you keep with your client to say, oh, I know you bought Manage Engine AD 360 from us last year. There is Palm 360. Is this something we know that your company is, things like that. Talking to your customer and building a relationship and providing new products that you have to them. Then the ethical accountability and the final decision is yours, because if anything goes wrong, just like I said earlier, you're the face of the company. It's your brand, it's your integrity. It's not going to be like, oh, but I used AI. Oh, you have to own up to that responsibility. It's just there as a partner, right? It's just like having a couple, right? If anything happens in that family, it's always the husband that is being like, oh, what happened to your family? Normally nobody would say, oh, how come this is happening to your family, to the wife? So that's the way it is. So you're more like the husband of your business, right? Then AI is like your wife that is supporting you, that is your helpmate, right? Now you need to also create leap from nothing to something. Don't just leave everything to AI. As much as I'm saying AI is your partner, you just don't leave everything and say, you know what, just automate beginning to end. Then you have to also be able to read the room and understand what your client wants, because AI is doing some tasks for you. Know when to put a pause, know when to revisit that task, know when to say, you know what, this particular one, I think I'm going to handle it myself manually, right? So that's what this table is basically talking about. So your AI business partner is like your team member. I said that earlier on, right? Now, looking at the different AI that speaks to you, if you're a strategist, right, you do lots of research, market share, what's the word now? Looking at the market to know where you stand, what's going on in the market, right? You do a lot of planning, you do a lot of brainstorming, you do a lot of focus group and all of that, Claude, ChatGPT, I mean, it's not limited to this, is your go-to person as your AI partner. If you're a designer, your UX UI person, you have your visuals, your pitch deck, you're like a founder, you need to sell to your investors and all of that. You can use Midjourney, you can use Canva AI, you can use other tools, right? Same thing with analyst as well. Excuse me. Same thing with analyst as well. You can use your Gemini, you can use your ChatGPT, and it's not limited to all of these. For a salesperson, you have it. For operations manager, you have it there as well. For legal advisors as well, all these, all of that, compliance things. Just that different AI tools that you can use. So just know the one that works for you, the one that will be your partner, right? There's this thing that they do. I'm sure some of you must have seen it. This dating game that they'll bring maybe like a couple of guys or a couple of ladies, and they'll say you bust the balloon, right? So it's the one, excuse me, the balloon that is kept there is the one that fits your business. So you need to know which of the AI partner fits your business, right? Don't just don't just go in as a bandwagon to say, oh, everyone is using this, I'm using it. Everyone is using Copilot, that's where I'm going to. Just look the one that suits you and fits your business. So we're going to look at AI across your business. Excuse me. Now, every function has its own AI opportunities, no doubt, right? If you're looking at marketing, there's lots and lots of things you can do. Gone are those days where you will sit back and start writing proposals and all of that. And I give you a quick life scenario. So sometimes this week, I think it was on a Thursday, I was coming from a client's visit, right? And I was so busy. I mean, when I'm going to see a client, my laptop is my body, always with me. So I was working while I was in the car and all of that. Then I got a call from a friend of mine. Okay, so prior to that, in the morning, when I did my morning devotion, I was like, oh God, I need businesses. Let someone just remember me and all of that. And I prayed that prayer, but I didn't pray that I should have all it takes when they remember me to be able to attend to them. So for some reason, someone just called me, a very old client I'd worked with, called me and said, oh, I have a link for you that someone wants to do XYZ and they need you to send the proposal now. And I was like, send the proposal now? Sure, yes, your hand is up. Is it a question? Can you please wait till the end if that works for you? Yeah. Otherwise, you can drop a message. Let me see. So I kind of, was like, oh my God, like, what do you mean now? He said in the next 5 minutes. I was like, proposal in the next 5 minutes. And this is it's not like a different domain. It's a domain I'm familiar with, but I was just like, okay, in the next 5 minutes, let's see what we can do. So I was able to pull a lot of materials, of course, I called my partner AI and we were able to put a lot of things together, and I was able to submit that proposal, and of course, there was another meeting afterwards later in the night that had to do with review and all of that. But I was glad that I was familiar and I had a partner AI that could help me, do that. So in marketing, AI is there. You can do your SEO content. You can do your social posts for you. You don't have to go every time to post your content. You just give it the prompt, and you also put a scheduler there and it posts it for you. For sales, there's AI that can help, and the analyses are here. He says that it saves you 12 hours per week. You can imagine what you can do with 12 hours if you have to use AI, you would use that 12 hours to look for new customers, new clients, right? For sales, it saves you 9 hours, and in finance, 8 hours. So you don't have to, work till late in the night and say, oh, you know what, I don't have time. I need to, just like what Chukwemeka said, that he was so involved at work that he couldn't even pursue his passion, he couldn't pursue his passion. So you can imagine if he's using one of these AI tool as a partner, he'll be able to all those mundane jobs or tasks rather, or those monotonous tasks, he can always use AI to fix that, while he would have about 8 hours minimum to do to work on his passion, right? Same thing with customer service. We've seen fantastic job that AI is done there. Even in medicine as well, HR, recruitment, start doing JDs, they're in HR and they're telling you to do JD for an engineer, and you don't even have a clue what, front end engineers do. That's why the AI is there as your partner, to come up with questions. AI is there for you when you're doing your interview, your onboarding, just helps you all the way. Now we have AI powered content machines, right? Here you have, like, just like I said before, your blogs, right, on your website or your sites, wherever you have it there. And I'll tell you another quick story with a LinkedIn article. So I think it was a couple of years, I think like last 2 years or thereabout, can't remember precisely. I see some post on LinkedIn, and I'll be like, oh my God, these guys are fantastic writers. I wish I read English. I wish I didn't read computer science. I read some posts and I'm like, how can somebody just put this together? Then it occurred to me that, wait a minute, this person must be using AI. This person can't be this, all these people can't be this perfect, writing so excellently. Like, you read it and you be like, wow, this is fantastic. This message, I can relate with this person's article. I can relate with what this email is saying. And, you read some things on X and you're like, this is great. You watch some movies on YouTube and you're like, wow, the storyline is fantastic. But trust me, they just put a prompt there and say, look, these days I need you to build, a script for me. I want to do a movie on blah, blah, blah. And before you know it is there. Even podcast too. You see people host podcast and you're wondering, wow, these people are so eloquent. Did they all go to Harvard? But it's because of the AI partners that they have, right? So you need to critically look at the partner that suits you. Now let's look at the your hand is still up. Do you want to ask a question, or is there anything? Do you want to wait till? Okay, I can't hear you, but I mean, if you can drop a message if it's very urgent, or you want to wait till the end. Okay, so let's just go on. I think you're good. All right, so let's look at the real demo and workflow, because I really want us to finish in time so that there'll be enough time to ask questions. Now, please, Chioma, can you please mute? Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. All right. So now, because while we're here in this class, or maybe after your classes today, because I know some of you have you're starting your next class by 10 o'clock, I want you to take a snapshot of this and try and build this in your spare time, right? The first one is like a client proposal. Remember the story I told you that, a friend of mine called me and said, I need to do a proposal, that the bid is closing in 5 minutes and I need to submit that bid, So start, create something, write a brief about that content. That's what's it called? RFP that you've been given, right? Request for proposal, what you've been asked to bid for. Just write a brief about it. And tell it to create like an executive summary for you, tell it to create like pricing for you, to compare the price you're going to put with the price other people are putting, right? So that you're not overpricing it or underpricing it. On a good day, before all this flare of AI here, using AI as a partner, would have probably called one or two people in industry to say, oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to supply this, or I'm supposed to do this, I'm doing this. What's the market price now for this particular product or service, right? But AI will do all of that for you, right? Again, when you look at competitors research briefing as well, do a demo. I'd like to see this next week, really, of how your competitors are. When you want to go into a new market, for instance, maybe you're in Nigeria, you want to go into maybe Rwanda, and you're like, okay, so the people doing my kind of business in Rwanda, who are they? AI would help you look for your top 5, top 3 competitors, right? To help you look at their positioning, their market share, would help you look at their SWOT analysis, their strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats, so that you will know what you're looking at, what you're going to face when you go into that market. And if there are gaps, right, in the competitors analysis, AI will tell you, and that will be your new entrance. That will be your what's it called, your first mover advantage for you, because that will be a way to go in and what's the word, and grab the market, right? It's so 30ZN. I see your hand up. Do you want me to finish the slide? Then you can ask your question, or you ask later. So you can also ask AI to create your calendar for you, your social calendar, things you want to do, your posts, your even itineraries, like, oh, this I have weddings or parties for the next 4 Saturdays in this month, at XYZ. Send me a reminder, tell me to pick up my clothes from the tailor, combine my this is the color I'm wearing, put up a combination of my shoe and handbag and all of that. So you can do that, and it'll be nice to see all of this next week before we go into the business itself, right? So do you want to ask, is it a very urgent question, or do you want to please note it down, then we can talk about it after this session, because I'm almost done. All right, so now we need to start building our AI like a pro, and the acronym I'll be using here is CORE. The content you need to feed your AI, let your AI know you. I mean, that's your partner. Remember what I said earlier when I talked about, going on a date, when you meet a friend, you become a bestie and all of that. Let AI introduce yourself to your tool, right? Your AI tool that you've decided to use. Introduce yourself. Let AI know you. Let AI know your background, your situation, what you do, your business, your passion, whatever you want to build, right? Now, the O is the objective, where you now say, what exactly do you want to produce? Do you want to produce a learning platform for young people? Do you want to build an app where people don't, it reminds people when to use the bathroom or something? Or do you want to build an app where, it tells you, I know there was one amazing app that's the one group in Quad Seats built. I think it has to do with menopause and all of that, just it to tell you exactly what to build, right? And you to be specific about the outcome of it. Now we look at the R, which is the role. You tell AI, can you please mute? Thank you. You tell AI, who AI should act as. Because again, don't forget, in context, you've introduced yourself to AI. You've told AI who you are. AI has a bit of your background and what you do, right? So when you're talking to your partner, the AI, you say, act as LA, founder of XYZ company, or MD of XYZ company, right, come up with a product that would serve the people in the northern part of Nigeria, or people in the northern part of Africa, or people in Europe or anywhere, just you're telling AI to be you, to come as to be in your position at that moment to produce whatever outputs that you want for that prompt that you've given it, right? And the final one is examples, to show you samples. Again, you would now decide to pick out of those samples the one that best fits what you're thinking about and what your passion is. Remember last week I gave an example that, look, when you have a passion, even though you decide to share it with someone, nobody can build that passion or perfect it as much as you, because that is, you're the one that got the dream. You're the one that knows the you're the one that knows where it hurts, where it pinches, let me use the word, so what it is. It's yours. It's everything. The A to Z of that passion is yours, right? So that's exactly what I'm talking about here. So we quickly go to the risk and guardrails. Now, here we know that your partner comes with fine prints, and here are the fine prints. You need to identify your risk, right? In every areas of your life, work, personal area, in every aspect, there's a risk. So you need to be a risk analyst, even though you probably say, oh no, I'm not a risk person, but you need it in your life as well, right? So you need to know the risk that involves you having a partner, right? It's just like saying, oh, going into a relationship, you need to know the risk in going on a date with this particular person, right? So with your AI partner, of course, we know AI hallucinates, right? You need to always verify, even though you guys have been together for a while, maybe you've been using your AI partner for like a year, doesn't mean, all the facts and figures are correct, right? You need to always verify. You need to always audit your AI, right? And again, remember, because I said you should put in your you should introduce yourself to your AI and put in your dreams and strategies. Doesn't mean you should put in sensitive information. Doesn't mean you should put in pictures that are not meant to be there. Doesn't mean you should put in your bank information, your bank account, and all of that. Be very sensitive, things that you shouldn't put in there, things that should be for you alone. Just like things that you cannot share with a friend or with a partner, just like that. Always have it at the back of your mind, and don't be over reliant on it as much as is your partner. Because again, your partner can fail you. Anything can go wrong. So if it goes wrong, what happens? If you're so used to having AI as your partner for a particular or all the activities that you do, all the tasks or a particular task, and something goes wrong, it's going to destabilize you for a while. So always try as much as possible to be involved as well. Be more like a hands-on as much as you're giving AI. So just know where to put the balance, right? That's what I'm saying. Then brand voice drift. You have to build like a style guide prompt, that when the output is there, that this is you, that this is your AI doing this. That no one has hacked into your partner, because it's trust me, 100% possible for someone to hack into your partner and give you an output, and you assume that is your partner's output. So that's why that place of audit is very, very important, right? And bias, but you should look out for bias in output as well, right? You need to diversify your prompts, and again, remember, I've been talking about audits. You need to audit your output regularly. Don't just assume, no matter how much you are in a hurry. Always make sure that you audit it, so you don't, again, remember, if anything goes wrong, it's your brand, it's your business, you are the one responsible. Nobody's going to say, oh, it's AI that did it for me. I'm sure for the lawyers that are in our midst, there's no you can't sue AI You know what I mean? So you have to be responsible for it. All right. So quickly, there's the 7-day AI action plan that I want us to look at. So day one, again, you can start your day one tomorrow, or you start it on Monday. You pick up a business problem. Last week, I took time to talk about passion and career. Just pick up a problem that you see, maybe the way that people, maybe it's transportation, maybe it's security in the country. Maybe just pick up a business plan, right? And find the AI tool that best suits it. I told you about how to select your AI tool that is your partner. Now write your first core framework, what you want the AI to do for you, right? And of course, it's not the first one, should not be the final one. You need to keep reviewing it, iterate it, to make sure that at least you have the best, right? A best output. You can do that between 3 and 5 times to be sure that you have the best output and it suits that passion, what you're passionate about, right? I know last week someone was talking about we're talking about security, and I'm saying, oh, great idea, what you want to build. What about putting a tracker on the students body, so you can track the location and all of that. So you have to keep reviewing that AI, what the AI is building for you, so that you sure you got the right output for it, right? So you need to run the content machine from the idea to the output. You need to also automate one repetitive task. Look for a task that you do all the time. Maybe a task that you wake up in the morning, you have to do one thing or the other, but just look at it. How can I automate this task that I do? It's just like it's something. It has a step by step. Is there a way I can automate it? Try and do that maybe on a day 4. Then you create your brand voice, where you prompt the template and save it. Remember, I told you how to create your brand voice. Who you are, what you want your AI partner to know about you, right? And you just have that as a template that you can use. So if anything if anything comes up that you need to talk to your partner about, to build for you, or to come up with people, share it with your friends, this community textilers, and do an hashtag of AI, my business partner, and also AI. I would also hashtag textilers as well, so that we can have more visibility. Then you review what saves time. Okay, so look at all the things that you've done, maybe by Friday night, and I say, okay, this process or this task that I've automated, what did I save time? Was it a waste of time? Did it work for me? Then if it works for you, just build like a procedural manual around it to say, okay, if anybody comes in next time, all the person needs to do is pick up the SOP and read it, and the person can actually understand the process, as against doing the manual teaching and all of that, right? Now, 5 things I want to leave with you today is partners. Let AI be your partner. Don't just be like your prompt, right? Build a relationship with your partner, build a relationship with AI, and you'll be amazed that when you build that relationship. I used to tell people, like, be very courteous with AI. Say the please word, say the thank you word, say don't treat AI like a slave, like a servant, like your house help, right? And if you treat AI with respect, trust me, your output will keep improving every time. Please, can you build, act as this and this, and please build this for me. And when the AI is done with it, say thank you, good job. You're building a relationship, a partnership. It's not a slave mentality or slavery act, right? Is more like a partnership. And AI amplifies you, right? Your judgment, your relationship, everything about you, AI helps to amplify it. again, make sure you do one workflow at a time, right? Start small. I always say that. Don't start with money, profits, as yes, profit should be the end goal, but don't let it be your initial goal. I mentioned that last week and I said it earlier today too as well, right? So start small and master it. Start prompting from today and start looking for that partner, AI partner. And before you know it, before the end of the week, I'm sure you must have built a closer relationship. Just like if you meet someone for the first time, a friend, and you're like, Bumi, I want to be your friend, over the couple of days or months or weeks, knowing each other, you'll be able to build a stronger relationship that if I sneeze, Bumi knows, oh, LA has fever or LA has flu or whatever, right? Then the competitive gap becomes widened, right? Every week you wait, someone else is building something. So start now. Like I said last week, yesterday was the best time to start, right? So start now. Take the competitive advantage. So your Textiler AI challenge this week. Remember, pick one task that you do manually, right? Partner with the AI that works for you, that will help you do it in 1/10 of that time. Share the results. Use the hashtag Textilers, hashtag AI partner, right? And I want to see the results next week. So, having said that, I'd like to say a big thank you for listening. And we're open to textile question and answers now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please fill your attendance form. Remember, attendance is mandatory. It takes 70% of your of the entire program. So for your certificate as well. So are there questions? Are there comments? Are there contributions? I saw some hands up while I was speaking. I can't. Yes, please, James, go ahead. Let me.
I've not been able to fill my attendance last week at today. I don't know. Can it be sent to the link, the WhatsApp link, please?
Okay, I'm sure Joanne. Okay, I'm sure Joanne will work with you on that. I don't know if Joanne has a comment on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure she will. Yeah. Any question? Oh, thank you, Suhumet, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, James again, please go ahead. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name well. Oh, okay, Sunday, please go ahead. Question, please.
Yeah, so just want to say thank you for sharing your perspective and also giving us nuggets of how you've used it in actual practicals. Because it's one of those things that happens when people tend to talk about these things, but there's no real life situation where it has been applied. And in those situations, it becomes just like a vague narrative or just trying to paint a picture that you were not the painter, so you're trying to tell someone else's story. So in that, I just want to say thank you. And for me personally, I use these tools. I use majority of them, and I use it in the things I do. Also, being a technical trainer on my own side, I use different tools in different situations, trying to improve myself. And one thing you said that struck me was, how do you use it? Do you use it to work with you or you use it to work for you? So it's finding that balance between the thin line of how to utilize this tool to improve productivity, because that's the baseline ultimately. If you're not using it to improve your productivity, then you're not using it the right and the appropriate manner. So just wanted to chip that in. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sunday. Thank you. That was excellent. Thank you. I'm super excited. At least it's a confirmation that you followed through. Yeah, and you're absolutely correct. Thank you so much. Thank you. Could you please mention the AI tool I can use or make my business better. So you need to tell us what your business is, and yes, we can we can look at the AI tool that you can use. You remember that I also shared on the slide examples of AI tool that you can use, and it's not limited to those ones. There's so many. So you need to also do your research, but those are the ones that I've used one way or the other. And I'm not saying those are the ones you should use as well. But I mean, we can have that discussion. I'm on the WhatsApp group as well. I think Joanne had been kind enough to share my LinkedIn. Or you can talk to any mentor, anybody in the group, in the WhatsApp group, Textilers. I'm sure they'll be happy to make that suggestion. Yeah. Thank you, Oluwatobi. Any other question, comments, contribution? We still have 5 minutes before you go for your next class.
Excuse me, ma.
Yes, please. Please go ahead.
Morning, ma.
Good morning.
So about that, I was going to talk about the distant transportation transit, like the car the last week.
About transportation, yeah.
Yeah, about the card, like the carry card.
Yeah.
So I'm using like Cloud AI, like
You're using
for
what?
like Cloud AI.
Cloud AI, okay.
Cloud AI.
Cloud AI, yeah.
Yes, we are still in the planning phase. So I opened like a project for it. So like we're actually like doing what's like easier building a prototype for it. So when you say that I work with AI, like I know let AI do the work for you. Basically, all my work is basically done with like AI. I work with this, but I don't do it like manually. Everything is on the AI platform.
Okay, so what's the question?
Can it be done? Since like this kind of stuff, it has to be done manually now. Like physically, I have to like get a card, run a prototype on it. So how would I go about it?
Oh, you don't have to do everything completely on AI, right? Like, so if, for instance, you want to, the card services now, there's an existing carry card, right? But you want to come
Yes,
into that market. Now, you need to say to yourself that AI, okay, so you need to use a business, a sales, AI that can help you with sales, right? To help you, I'm trying to, the one that would help you look at what is happening with carry right now. What's this, do like a SWOT analysis. That is there a gap? Where is the gap? What is carry doing? That's what is carry not doing that we can do? Such that when you bring in your own, people are like, oh, this one is a lot better. I'm moving from this to this. Why do you think people move from commercial banks to OPay, Money Points, and all, and Kuda and all of that? Because of ease of transaction and also the lower charges and all of that. So you look at carry, you can use AI to do that research analysis, right? To look at what carry is doing, what you can do. Remember, I also mentioned last week to you that because you're particular about this, and I think you mentioned something about with children, especially people going to school and all of that. So your niche is young people going to school or going to work. So why don't you put a chip there? Remember I mentioned it, where it can also
yes.
have a geolocation and it can track people. So I'm sending my child to school, and my child is going to take maybe 2 buses before he or she gets to school. But there's a chip on it, right? That can track when my child gets into the bus, when my child gets down from the bus, when my child gets to school. That's one thing Carry doesn't have right now. So AI will help you come up with that research, how to go about it and all of that. So there's no process. Let's even think about it. Tell me, and I stand here to defend it. There is no process that you don't need AI. There's no tax, there's no domain that you don't need AI. Let's have that debate right now. I'm telling you, and I'm sure I'm going to win it, that there's no process, there's nothing that you don't need AI. Right?
Yeah, yes, there's no process. because
Yeah.
there was like, the tax you gave us last week. I did the tax too, but I don't know how to like hashtag this on textiles on online. So as I said, okay, I just went to news when you asked if we did our assignment.
Oh, you can put it on LinkedIn, right? Or on your X, and you just hashtag textilers, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I saw a question here. Okay, I'm new here and I knew nothing about what was discussed. I really need help with this. Maybe you have to watch these on YouTube. I'm sure Joanne would. We have all our videos on YouTube, starting from cohort one till this is our seventh cohort. So if you can go back and read that, there's no time to, um, you know, go over this all over again. Then Tomide said, you talked about this week project. I don't know how to go about it. Oh, this week project, I'd said that this week that we should try and okay, first discover the AI that works for you as a partner. I need you by next week. Everyone should come up and tell me the AI partner that they found. And remember, I said that you should also, introduce yourself to the AI. Let the AI know, let the AI understand what you want to do, right? And build a task that is a monotonous task, a task that you do repetitively. Build one. Just use the AI to build it for you this week. Yeah, basically that's it. Any other question? Thank you, Isaka, for agreeing. Any other question? Thank you, everyone, for your comments, contribution. It's actually 10 o'clock, 10:02. So if there are no more questions, I'd like to say thank you for listening. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Next week is going to be very interesting. It's about startup. I know that we all want to start a business. Like they always say, even though I never listened when I was in paid employment, you can never be rich with one income. I tell you, please start building something by your side. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, so the all our social media handles are been posted. Please follow us and fill the register, the attendance form, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much, everyone.